Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I have another layout and it is using the July Valley High Studio Calico kit. It is the 7th layout using this kit and it took me an hour and 10 minutes. I pulled out a lot of scraps and then some of them were the second sheet of the collection. So I'm liking that I'm using up a lot of, the second sheet. Also, the gray chevron is my second sheet. I was actually going to use it as a full background, but I just could not bring myself to waste that paper because it's one of my favorites. So I wanted to keep it so I could use it again on another layout. So what I'm going to do is I just took a piece of cardstock that I knew, I think I had like 8 of that red cardstock, and it's not, I'm not one that, once in a while I might force myself to use red as a background, but it's not one of my colors, my go-to colors. I'll use it as a matte, but having, 7 or 8 in my Studio Calico bucket of that color, I felt like it was enough. So I'm just going to build my whole background, and you're not even going to see the red. Basically, it was just so that I can make it so it was 12 inches long or wide. And then I'm going to build everything else so that it fills up the entire 12 inches. So I'm just kind of measuring off where the gray cardstock or pattern paper is going to end. And the two strips that I had cut for the last layout that I didn't end up using, I'm using it on this kit. And just pretending that the floral stamped images go underneath without actually going underneath, so you don't waste as much paper. And again, I know, we probably have so much paper, but I can't bring myself to wasting paper like that. And putting it on cardstock, I was fine with that. Now I had a remnants of gray cardstock that I want to mount my photo on. So what I did was I just had to cut my photo down a little bit because the piece of cardstock was a little smaller than 4x6. And my ATG gun ran out, so I'm going to refill it. And it's just going to take me a few seconds and I'm ready to go again. And now I'm going to ink up the edges of the photo because I want it to stand out. I was thinking maybe of trying to use that ribbon as borders, but then I remembered the challenge that Celine gave me was to use twine. So then I decided to use twine instead as borders. So I took a gray twine and a pink twine, and I'm going to put them side by side at the top and the bottom of that cluster. And then I'm going to staple them with my little Tim Holtz tiny attacher. And I really like it that there's, 2 colors and they're side by side, and you can really see it on the page. So on one side of the page, I'm going to put in 3 staples, and on the other side, I'm going to put in 1. And then at the bottom, I'm going to do the opposite. The spot where I put 3 staples, I'm going to put 1 staple, and then on the other side, I'll put 3. Just to keep, just to keep it different and the texture is different. And I really like the color combination of this layout. Most of it were scraps. The gray pattern paper was scraps. The 2 strips that I had cut for last layout and never used it was scraps. Even the cardstock was scrap. I just made the photo to fit with it. And there in the back of the layout, what I did was I just used some washi tape just to secure the twine. And then I'm going to use one of those clips from Freckle Fawn from the monthly embellishment kits. And it says love. And this is the second sheet of that paper from Studio Calico that I'm using. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite papers in this month's kit. And this month, I have to say the papers, I'm really loving them. And I'm having a whole lot of fun scrapping with them because I really like the colors. So, I did a voiceover this morning that I uploaded today, and today's the 17th. And it's 6 o'clock at night and I'm already ready with a voiceover. And I'm going to get the other page that I'm going to upload in 2 days. And then as soon as I'm done that, I'm going to work on another page. So it's so different when the paper that you're using you're really loving it. So I took out 3 buttons from this month's kit, and it is from the Travel Girl collection. And then there was a brad that said 2TO, and I'm going to use that. And then I folded that ribbon in half and made it like a little tab right next to the word love. I took some of that paper and cut it down and kind of made different layers, and then I used that grid paper that we got in this month's kit too, and I'm going to use that as my journaling. I put one of those doilies that we got in this month's kit, and now I'm going through stickers that did not come in this month's kit, but I like something extra to layer. So I'm going to take out a bunch of stickers. One says list. The other one has a cross-stitch heart, which is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Then this ticket here says typical, and it has arrows pointing to it. And then now I'm going to take out the freckle fawn, which I don't end up using. I'm going to cut out a tab from Ellie Studio, and that's where I'm going to stamp my date. And then I'm going to take out these Amy Tangerine. They're little puffies, and I really like them. And I'm going to take everything off the sheet that is pink, and I'm going to try and use it on this layout. And I end up using 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, I guess. And what I'm not going to use, I just put it away, and I'll use it on another layout. And I know I want to use those pink stars from Freckle Fawn. And again, that came in an embellishment kit. And I'm going to go through the stickers and see if there's anything else, that I can use. And I'm going to pull out those pink tiny stickers. And just to add extra words around the layout. So I'm just going to keep looking through the stickers, the tiny stickers, and I just put everything in the middle of the layout. And then once I feel, that I have quite a bit of stuff to put in all the layers, then I just say, okay, I'm going to start, and then I just start dividing the stuff in between the layers. So as I'm picking things to put on the layout, I'm not even sure at that point if I'm going to use it or not. I just want it so that it's a possibility. And with my EK Success powder tool, if there were stickers, I remove the stickiness away. So then I'm able to move everything around and not commit to anything. So this is, again, I'm talking about the challenge that I put out, this, not challenge, but things to get done this month, or I guess challenge is to clean up our scrap areas, whether it is a scrapbook room or a corner in your bedroom or whatever the case may be. I have a scrap room that's it's almost square, and then it jots out, and then I have a walk-in closet too, but it's 9 by 9, and the picture that I have there is a couple years ago. I reorganized my entire scrap room, and it was so clean. Everything was like where it needed to be, and it just was so nice to get in there. And since July, I have done so many layouts and so many overtime shift that it's slowly, like, orders are coming in, and I don't have time to do, to put them away. And there was like 6 boxes that were piling up. I did get rid of most of them. Most of them are put away. So I'm slowly picking away at it. But I'm a very visual person. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun to do a page on my goal? So my goal for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks is to clean up my scrap room. So I still want to scrapbook because I love scrapbooking, and but I want to dedicate, a little bit of time every day to cleaning up my room. So I created this layout, and the title is going to be My Goal, and I'm actually going to put it up somewhere so I can see it every day, so I can see my goal. Okay, this is what I want. I want a clean scrapbook room. So by the time I start December daily, I'll be ready. And then, it's going to be the new year, and I have the entire month of December off. And I don't know if you guys are like that, but I find when everything's not organized, I feel like my brain is in chaos too. So I find it harder to create and everything. So I just want to get organized, and I thought it'd be fun to do sort of my goal in a scrapbooking page. So right there, where I'm working on right now, the first sticker says creative, and then the Brad says to, and then with the mini markets, I wrote out do list. So creative to-do list. And then underneath where it says notes, I'm just going to stamp the date. And then, there's a cross stitch heart, and it just kind of reminded me of the whole scrapbooking thing. And then the ticket says typical, and it points to the heart, because I love my scrapbook room. It's it's my haven. I have a high stress job, and I find that this is where I unwind, I create, I have fun, and I get lost almost in having fun. And then to me, that's funny that so one of the puffy stickers says funny, that I'm so visual that doing a page on my goal is something that I even thought of. And then I had some punch out little hearts, and I'm going to put it under the list, because that cross stitch heart obviously is a heart. And then I had a puffy heart that I put at the top left of the layout. And now I'm going to stamp the date. And I put the date that I created the layout, which was November 17th, 2013, just so that I kind of marked the date that I started I didn't start that challenge on that date, but it's when I created the layout to kind of have a visual goal. And now I'm going to add those stars from Freckled Fawn, and it is an embellishment kit that you can sign up for every month. And now I'm going to work on the title, and I'm going to use some of the thickers that we got in this month's kit. And I love those. They're not chipboard, cork. Excuse me. And so I'm just going to use my white dauber from Hero Arts. And I love that thing. I love it to change the color of letters like that. And then I use my heat gun and dry it up. And I usually put on a second coat, because the first time you can see the cork a lot. So then I'll put the color. And I find that the color stands out more if you put it on white, because I tried it on cork before and I really didn't like how it turned out. The color was not bright. It was kind of, I don't know, didn't look good. You could see the cork coming through. So again, I'm going to use my heat gun and dry those up. And then I'm going to take out some wax paper, just so I can move it around and try to figure out where exactly I'm going to put that title. And I want to put it there, but it kind of hangs off a little bit. And so what I'm going to do, and I didn't like it above the button, because then it was creating a lot of white space, trap white space. And then, so I'm going to go and find some washi, and it's pink and white or transparent. And then I'm going to put my title right there, and I'm going to put some more washi at the top left of the layout. So I had to lift up my little star, and then I'm going to put it back. It was kind of over that tab that said trend, because it seems to be, a trend that everyone, more and more, you see more and more people, changing one of their rooms in their house into a scrapbook room, and then the battery had died, so you can tell it's much brighter because it's the next morning. I think by the time I went to bed, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh, I need to do this page on, my goal for the scrapbook room. And actually what it did was it actually created another idea, not created, but it sparked another idea. And that's going to be my very next layout that I'm going to start as soon as I'm done this voiceover. And if you want to see some still pictures, you can go to Two Peas in a Bucket or Studio Calico in the members gallery, and you can look for Nicole Jones 911. I'm also on Pinterest, and that it's on the bar, like where my photo is and stuff. And it's to the right, and it's also in the About tab. Or you can join me on Facebook, and the link is in the description. And I think that's it. And now I'm just going to journal. And that's basically all I said in the journaling, is that I'm a very visual person. And so for me to see my goals is like, it helps me out. So for me to do that page, I'm going to find a way to hang it on my wall until my goal is complete. And then I took pictures of before it's done, and it's horrible. Like I said, there's boxes, and so I'm slowly picking away at it. So, and now I'm going to put some glimmer glaze in pink. And this was my 3rd day off. So tomorrow I work a night shift, so I might, have a bit of time to do maybe a couple more layouts, and then I go back to work. And here are a few close-ups. And that's it. The page is done. Oh, and then I also used some, I was blabbing along there, a punch that was a stamp, and it went well with the border. So I really like that stamp that punch from Fiskars. So that's it. The page is done. So thanks for watching. Bye.